Hey everyone, it's Brandon, and I'm back with another Big Brother Spoilers intro. Today we're catching up with Kenney Kelley from Big Brother 26. This is his second time on the podcast, and he and Josh cover everything, from life after the show to what it was like seeing his name trend on social media this week. Kenney also breaks down his thoughts on the BB27 cast, how he would have handled Rachel's return if he were back in the house, and his reaction to seeing fellow houseguest Cedric pop up on the challenge. Plus, he opens about his own casting story, reflects on his gameplay, and what it was like watching his season play out after being evicted. It's fun, it's honest, and Kenney doesn't hold back. So let's get into it.
So Kenney, it's so great to see you. It's been a year since Big Brother 26. So how has life been for you since leaving the Big Brother house?
A little bit different. Obviously, you recognize a lot more, but I had to get right back into it. So I'm back to work. I still have kids, sports, things like that. So there's really no time to really reflect back on it, other than watching this season and kind of having a good idea of what they're going through in the house. And all in all, it's cool. It was a great experience. I went in there completely thinking one certain way, and the house does some crazy things to you, and I left leaving a completely different idea of like how the house I thought was going to be.
Yeah, so we're approaching almost a year since your eviction. The past year, it's flown by. So what's been the most challenging part at transitioning back to normal life after the show?
I wouldn't say there was any challenges. Obviously, beating up myself a little bit for not getting in there and playing the game a little bit better than I thought I was going to be able to get in there and do. But, those are just things you can't expect when you go in the house. I know that other people have actually a lot of people that I've talked to that have been in that house have experienced a lot of the same things. But there really hasn't been many challenges, coming out of it. I did it. I'm happy with what I did. I'm okay with it. Would I like another chance to go back there and try again? Yeah, probably. Now that you reflect on it, if you ask me that, coming out of the house, 2 or 3 days out of the house, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm never doing that again. That was awful. But I also went in completely unprepared for that house.
Yeah, so I saw you and Kevin from BB19 hosted a premiere party. How did that go?
Yeah, that was amazing. We really weren't too sure, how it was going to go. We kind of wanted to do it for our family and friends and, hang out all together, because I didn't get a chance to hang out with them when I was being, walked into the house. And it was unbelievable. We had like 300 something people there. It was great. All the money that we got went to charity, and we had a blast. It was a really good time.
Yeah, I was at Oza's premiere party in New York, and we definitely missed you and Matt and Cedric.
Yeah, it was great that Matt and Cedric came down. We have a pretty good relationship, the three of us, and I was super happy that they came down. I would have liked to have gone to New York, but I kind of felt obligated to do something in the Boston area because nothing was ever really done before. And then Kevin, really wanted to do something too. He really hasn't been on social media that much. He's been, balancing illnesses, and he's, back healthy again. So he's ready to, get back out here and enjoy the Big Brother, family.
What other Big Brother players were there besides you and Matt and Cedric?
Michelle Costa was there. I think Michelle was the only other Big Brother person there, but we had like Justin from Survivor, Joe Covino from Amazing Race, Brett LaBelle from Survivor and Amazing Race, a bunch of people from we had like, I think there was probably like 15 of us that had been on reality TV.
Yeah, that's awesome. So before we get into Big Brother 27, I saw you were trending this week. How did you get all that attention how did you take all that attention about Kenney trending this week?
Yeah, so I love it. I'll take all the attention I can get. But that actually stemmed from Love Island. I guess there's a couple on Love Island, and the kid's name is Kenney, and they broke up, and everybody was going. And, Pluto TV kind of threw it out there. It was actually pretty funny. I like it. I don't care. There was some good comments on there, and it was fun. So I appreciate it. I appreciate that I'm still relevant, or at least I'm still in the files that when they need something with my name, they can pull me out and put me on the internet.
When they posted that video, did you know the context of what was happening, or did someone have to fill you in?
Yeah, I kind of had to get filled in. I was like, I didn't get it, but it happened like pretty quick. My phone started going off like crazy, and people, saying different things to me, and it was pretty funny. So I quickly found out, what it was about, but I didn't realize I wasn't up to date on Love Island.
Yeah, so let's get into Big Brother 27. So who are your favorite house guests this season?
Yeah, it's so tough, but obviously I like Morgan a lot. I do like Ava. I do like Keanu. Adrian, I really liked Adrian. I thought he was a pretty cool, like calm, cool, and collected person in the house. I kind of like that. I mean, I like Will. I know, he's in there. He's probably feeling a lot of the same things I was feeling from what I can see on the spoilers. And but I think once he gets over the hump of this week, that he's not being on the block is going to be great. Where he has a whole week to just rest and kind of recuperate and not worry about like, oh, am I getting out of here? Like, do I not have any friends in this house? So those are some of the things like I battled in the house, and it was difficult.
What's up with no Boston reps in the season?
Yeah, I mean they had two Boston. They had a lot of East Coast, last year, so they definitely have to mix it up a little bit.
Does anyone on this cast remind you of somebody from your cast?
Will reminds me of me. He's got the white goatee. I think they did a really good job of mixing it up this year and not having a lot of the like same types of people. Obviously, you have Vinny with the mustache, kind of like Joseph. I like that. That's pretty funny. I mean, Kelly's coming across like she's like Tucker. Like she's starting to crush competitions. So Kelly's the female Tucker in the house, and so there's all like these little things because it's a puzzle piece, right? The network puts a puzzle piece together and wants to put all these things in. Hopefully, when puzzle pieces together, it creates a beautiful picture. And I think they did a great job this year at doing that.
Yeah, another people that we can compare was Zach and Matt. That Ava keeps mistaking Zach for Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I know Matt very well and on a different level, so I can see how if you didn't really know Matt that you could think that they were together, but I don't really see it, but and Matt's a better looking guy than that too. Come on.
Yeah, so you said that Will reminds you of yourself. Is it hard? He's mentioned that it's hard for him with his age connecting with these 20-year-olds. Did you have similar issues?
Yeah, I mean, my issues weren't really the connection portion of it. It was the conversations. And in the Big Brother house, you probably see it a lot of times on the live feeds, is conversations start really good, and then sometimes they get a little inappropriate. And I was in a position where obviously I'm married, I got 2 kids, and that was my play going into the house. I wanted the house guests to know that, hey, I'm married, I got kids, and I was definitely playing up. I miss my kids, I miss my wife. I hope they're doing okay. And then that was kind of my play going in there to try and build some sympathy with the house guests. But by the middle of week 2, it like became so real that it kind of my emotional state in the game was done as far as like conversations, because it's crazy to say the way that I thought was, hey, I'm having a bad day. I don't want anybody else to have a bad day because of me. Like, I didn't want to be like, oh, woe was me. So I did a lot of like, grab my coffee, going to the backyard, drinking my coffee by myself because I didn't want anybody else to have a bad day. And there was obviously a lot of back and forth with Angela and myself. But I will say, Angela was like my biggest fan. She was my biggest cheerleader in the house. She would always come up to me and be like, come on, Kenny, we want you in this house. Get it together. And the first part of it, like, I'm like, yeah, I get it, Angela, I get it. But I was just playing it up. And then when I really needed it, coming down the stretch, Angela was actually really good about it. But I told her straight up, like, I'll talk to you about my kids, I'll talk to you about my family, but I'm never going to team up with you again because I felt as though she really did me wrong in week 1.
Yeah, and you also had Brooklyn as a parent in the house as well.
Yeah, but I mean, Brooklyn, a little bit younger. I have the kids the same age as Brooklyn, but I'm a lot older than Brooklyn. So I also have kids that were very close in age to Brooklyn. Yeah. And we tried, Brooklyn and I had a conversation where we tried to have like a parent thing with Angela, and Angela didn't want any part of it during week 1.
Yeah, so if you were in this house, who do you think that you would have aligned with?
I clearly would have aligned with Will. I probably would have aligned with Keanu. I know he's like hot and cold, and he's popular but not popular. But I think what you see is what you get. Like, I think really with him is like he's putting it out there, and that's who he is. He's playing. I mean, you don't know that when you're in the house if someone's being real or if someone's just acting. In our house right here, I love Chelsea. I thought Chelsea was the sweetest person in that house. And then I come home and I start watching the diary room stuff, and I'm like, she's a savage. Like, she's gonna run the table. Like as soon as I saw her diary on things, I knew that her mindset was different than she was letting everybody else to be. So, but I think like Keanu is 100% is what you see is what you get. And I think that'd be pretty cool to align with him. I mean, I would have been crazy not to try and align with Rachel. She's so experienced in the game that you most have to. Even like it's crazy that she's still in the house because everybody knows that she is so experienced in the game. And being in that house just one time is a wealth of knowledge just mentally. Being in that house twice, like now you're in the house 3 times, like that's crazy that she's still there. But I would have definitely tried to align with her because she's just a great player.
Yeah, you don't want to be on her bad side. We saw what happened with Zay. Yeah, so let's talk about the week 3 eviction. What were your thoughts on Adrian? Do you think the house just made the right decision in keeping Will and evicting Adrian?
It's so hard for them. They don't know what's going on. Like you don't know the popularity of like how people are looking in America's eyes and things like that. So it's so difficult to make that decision because there's a lot going on in that house. Like the live feeds go down. Actually, they had first 3 days that no live feeds were up, or even I think it was more than that this year. They made the best decision with the information that they had at that particular time. From me, being in the house and knowing it, they made the best decision that they thought for themselves. It's tough because people are outed, and now there's a lot of mistrust in the house. So that's something that they're going to have to try and repair down the road. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I think there's it's going to be a lot of give and take in the next couple of weeks to see who's actually going to, stay strong and who's going to break apart.
Yeah, so we saw Zay and Matt, the first boots, were hanging out. We saw that Lisa and Amy talked on the phone. So are you going to connect with Adrian, being that you're also a third boot?
Yeah, I sent them a message. I told them, you did a great job. Don't hang in there. I actually took the B picture of me when they said the CBS put out there, and I just said, be proud of how you played, and I spelled it BEE. And I thought it was just a funny way to look at it. But again, I'm older. I'm not really going to be able to hang out and connect with the younger people. I'm married and I got 2 kids. Like I'm even having a hard time, keeping up with the show itself. Like it's kind of crazy, like because this show is there's so much going on all the time. But people like yourself, like I'm a spoiler person. I love spoilers. Big Brother spoilers, like where I go for my information. So I want to know what's going on. I can't wait till Sunday, or I can't wait till the next episode to know what's going on. So I like the spoilers, and it helps me stay up to date on what's going on in the house because I am super interested in how this is all going to play out.
Yeah, now every other week we have the 4 episodes now with the BB Unlocked as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. Another aspect of the show goes back to Big Brother After Dark when they had like that whole thing going on. It's bringing back a good feel.
So who do you think is playing the best game so far?
I think Mickey made a great move. She had to do what she did. I think she's doing really good. Will's not doing much, but Will's keeping himself from getting evicted, and he's not going to see the block, I don't think, this week. I think he's doing a great job of being that balance because he was upset about going on the block again. And then there was that balance of, not getting too upset. And I think that's huge in the Big Brother house. Like if you can say that you're going to be calm, cool, and collective, then I think they're going to keep you around a while. So I'm hoping that happens for him. It's such a crazy game. Like you think someone's going to have a great HOH and you're like, they just screwed that all up. But they don't know. They don't know what's going on in the other rooms or upstairs in the gym or, in the bathroom. Like they don't know what's going on in there and what the conversations are. So I want to see Will win a comp. I know he said that he didn't feel as though that he could keep up with the younger players on the competitions, but I did a great job. And the comps were my saving grace in the house. I was like waiting for the next competition to happen. And, I won the one big veto, and then I actually came in second in every other competition that I played. And I probably should have won the first HOH, but they didn't actually show the first. There was actually 2 rounds of that. With me, Angela, and Leah, where Angela threw off, Leah threw off, and then I actually came up short, and we had to do it all over again. So they didn't even show that. So I had a really good chance of winning the HOH, and I didn't. So we'll see how these players play in those situations and, fight for an HOH or fight for a veto to take themselves off the block like Keanu's doing.
Yeah, when you were winning that competition, that's what made you want to stay in the game at that point. Because you wanted to leave, so when you won that competition, that's when you wanted to stay, right?
Yeah, so that was that was my saving grace. Like I was obviously missing my kids on that veto that I won, and I wasn't gonna throw that veto, and I actually destroyed that veto the stacking competition. Like no one even came close to beat me, and I was right at the edge where everybody else was watching me, and they were all like, "You crushed that, you crushed that." I'm like, and then they're like saying, "Well, but you don't want to be here. Like, are you not gonna use it? Are you gonna use it on somebody else?" And I'm like, hell no, I love Big Brother. I'm using the veto. Like I'm here for another week. Like let's go. Like, so yeah, that was my saving grace was the comps. But there's a lot of downtime, and Will in one of the live feeds was talking about it. Like Will saying, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. All this downtime's killing me because you can't get in those really good conversations with people. And my biggest problem was I was hiding who I was. I kind of wish I didn't hide who I was. I kind of wish I just came right out and said it. I might have been gone week 1 because of it, but it was so difficult for me in week 2 and 3 to really engage in conversations when I'm hiding the fact I'm a police officer.
So was Tucker's eventual move of not using the veto on himself, was that a crazy move in your eyes?
I mean, we kind of were talking like the last 2 weeks about, shaking things up, doing some crazy stuff. Obviously I knew Cedric really wasn't 100% in. I really wasn't sure. I didn't really know about the Pentagon or anything at that particular point. So I really wasn't sure where Cedric went. And everybody was kind of like telling me that they were leery of Cedric. And I was like, why are you leery of Cedric? Like week 1, Matt didn't really want anything to do with Cedric. And then Tucker was saying he wasn't too sure. And then like we got in the pantry one day. I'm like, come on, let's the 3 of us, let's do it. And it was a week that I was having a very hard time. And like getting that, alliance together was great for me. And I was like, hey, well, let's shake them up, crew. Let's shake things up. Let's do things a little different. And who better to shake things up than with Tucker? But obviously Tucker and I didn't know that, Cedric was in the Pentagon Alliance and had a couple of other things going on, which included Quinn, which he didn't want to mess up. So looking back now, you're like, okay, yeah, I understand why, everybody did what they did.
So what's been the biggest surprises for you watching this new season?
I think the biggest surprise for me is the staging of arguments and things like that. That's one thing that I really didn't like about Big Brother of recent years, or like the past 10 years, is where people, and Angela did it. And if you go back and you watch the feed of when Angela came down the stairs and she's clapping and she's doing her thing, and I'm at the counter and I don't even look. Like she ends up walking past me and going going at Matt, and I don't even turn around because I'm like, this is staged. This is an act. Like she's clearly practiced this. So I don't really like that, and I don't like stage controversy because like there's enough controversy in the house that happens naturally. That you don't have to actually put something together. And like Jimmy did it this season here. So I kind of really didn't like that. And then I heard on the live feed the other day, I think it was it Ava? It was saying how like her and Jimmy had planned to fake a fight so they could get airtime. Like that's the only thing that surprises me, because if you're a real true fan of the show, you shouldn't have to do that. Like you shouldn't have to do that. But I get it. You're in the house. You got to do something to occupy your time. It's like, all right, we'll stage a fight. Like, or we'll come up with a dance. Or like in our season, Cam did a great job. He created a song, like the Big Brother song, and doing stuff like that, which was very entertaining. So I think you could do stuff like that in the house and still get the attention that you want, as opposed to having a fake fight.
Yeah, you and Angela had a fight or two. Were those staged at all? Yeah,
no, I mean, if you go back and watch, I want no part of it. Like Angela's going at me, and I'm just like, hey. She's like, I think it was like week 1. She wanted me to, really fight to get rid of Matt, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, and she was like, you're gonna throw your game away for someone that you just met, and she's going at me, and I'm like, hey, I like him, like whatever. And then she was like, he's not your son, and I was like, hey, but he's somebody's son, and that's kind of like how I am, And I had a really good connection with Matt, and yeah, I wasn't gonna at that particular time. I wasn't throwing my complete game away from him, but I'm also a human being that has a heart, that like got a connection with a kid that's dad was a police officer. And we hit it off really good. And I mean, I tried to win that first, AI arena. Like I didn't throw it. I didn't want to be on the block, but I also knew that if Matt didn't win it, Matt was going home, which was ultimately what happened.
So who's your winner pick for this season?
It's so hard because things can change. Come on, you're a professional at this. That's like an impossible question. I want to see Will pull it out. Like, come on, man. I want to see Will do it. No one's really done it. No one's come as close. I mean, Kevin came really close, and Cliff came really close towards the end, but no one's done it. Like, let's go. Let's get an older person in there. So my pick is for him. It's going to be an uphill battle, but I think he can do it. Stay calm, stay cool, collective, and win an HOH at like the best possible time for you so you can get somebody out that's going to target you or that you're not really aligned with.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know about my experience with picking winners. So season 23, I picked Xavier, which I was correct. Season 24, I picked Taylor, which I was correct. Season 25, I picked Jag, so I was correct. And then season 26, my winner pick was Matt, so I got the first boot.
That happens to the best of us. Who's your pick this year?
My winner pick was Ashley, so I was a little worried when she was on the block the first week and then on Showergate situation, but I don't think she's going to win, but it was a better pick than Matt was, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley's doing good. She's actually doing pretty good. I got to see what happens with Rachel. If Rachel sticks around a few more weeks, she might win this thing. Like, she might win it because she knows how to play the game and she knows how to manage jury people. Like, she's gonna know what to do the week that she knows someone's going away to be able to get that jury vote. So they better watch out. But I think if she goes few more weeks, if she goes 3 or 4 more weeks, I think she's got a really good chance.
Would you want to see her become the first 2-time winner of Big Brother?
No, no. She has such the advantage. It's nothing personal, but she just has such an advantage of being in that house. If you put me back in that house next season, like, I have an advantage. Yeah, it wasn't great. My social game was terrible. I mean, I did, do well on the comps, but I know everything that I did wrong in that house. And you don't have time to correct things in that house. Like, you have 1 week to figure it out, and then someone goes home, and then you got to figure it out again, but you only have 1 week to do it. And then again, someone goes home, and then you only have 1 week to figure it out again. So I would have a better understanding of that going into the game, and I would have a better understanding of knowing, all right, I need to talk to everybody in this house. Like, there's people probably in that house right now that haven't had real good conversations with people. My problem with that was it was all on me. I could have had a real good conversation with T-Core, and I kind of, looking back and watching it, I'm like, wow, I really dropped the ball on that one. Like, I could have had a real good game conversation with T-Core, and I think she wanted to have that game conversation with me in week 2, and I kind of brushed it off because Kenney was having a bad day.
So is there anything else, BB27, you want to talk about before we get into you and your season a little bit more?
I just think I love nominating 3 people. That's huge. I love the blockbuster. That's great because it brings back old school Big Brother where you don't know who's going home that week. Like, for the last 8 years, we knew who was going home. We knew especially if you watch the live feeds, you definitely knew who was going home. Now you don't. Now you got to kind of like last week was a shocker. I really didn't think Adrian was going to go home. And I will self-admit I didn't really watch a lot of live feeds last week because it was a super crazy busy week for me. But I was relying on the spoilers and kind of like watching what people were saying on the live feeds from the spoilers.
So what's your casting story at Big Brother? How did you get on the show?
Yeah, it was a long road. It was a long road. So it happened probably like 6 years now. 6 years ago, my wife's friends group, huge Big Brother fans, they all got together at least 2 times a week during Big Brother season to watch the episode. And as we all became friends, they were like, you know what, your personality, you'd be great in the Big Brother house. Like, you can talk to anybody, you can have these conversations, which America really didn't see because they didn't see the real me because I was having emotional issues. But they pushed me to do it. So one day, one of my wife's friends called me and said, hey, they're doing an open casting call in downtown Boston. I think you should go. And I'm like, I am not going in line and standing in line with hundreds of people. So I actually was working real close to the bar. So I took the afternoon off. I walked down And I was like, wow, there's really nobody here. So I went up in the bar and I sat down. There was 2 girls there. And we were talking. I was like, is this where the Big Brother thing is? They're like, yeah, we've been here all morning. No one's really telling us anything. And there was 2 entrances to the bar. There was an entrance at the end of the building and an entrance in the middle of the building. And we came in from the end of the building. So I just asked the bartender, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's this Big Brother thing? He pointed over to somebody. He says, yeah, that guy over there, he works. He's working for Big Brother. He's setting it all up. So I'm like, hey, so I call him over and I'm like, hey, what's going on with the thing? He's like, oh, we're still trying to figure it out to see how many people come. We're either going to start the line on this side of the bar or we're going to go to the back side of the bar where there's another entrance and start the line over there. So I said, hey, I came here third. This one was here second. She was here first. I go, the 3 of us, we need to be first in line. Like, we've been here. So the kid laughed and he was like, all right. I'm like, hey, come back. So we had a drink. So we started drinking and having a good time with like the other girls. And like, an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes later, he comes running over. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot about you guys. You got to come over. So he brought us to the other side of the bar. And by then there was like 300 people in line and he scooted us up to the front. We get up to the front. I ended up being number 13 on the sheet. You ever do an open casting?
I haven't, no.
All right. So they open casting, they put you in a group and you go and you, there's a producer or a casting producer sitting at a high top. And 5 of us go up at a time. They shuffle up the papers, and lo and behold, I'm the first one. And hey, why do you think you'd be good on Big Brother? So I go on this spiel about, hey, I'm kind of a chameleon. I can fit in any situation. I got older kids. I got a newborn baby at home. Like I have a job that I get to talk to all different types of people. And so I'm going on. And I will admit, I did have a few drinks, and I was feeling really good at that particular time. So she cut me off, and she said, oh, okay, thank you. She went on to the next person. And the next kid started saying, he started his spiel off with, I'm kind of a chameleon. I fit in any situation. And I kind of looked over and I interrupted. I go, wow, that sounds vaguely familiar. And the kid freaks out. The kid like gets all nervous. Like he starts like freaking out. He's like, I was going to say what he said. And he starts like panicking. So now I'm laughing at it. And then it goes to the next person. It's a girl. She's like 21 years old. And she's like, I'm going to get it. She's like, well, how do you, what's your plan to get in the house? Well, I'm going to get in the house and I'm going to have a relationship with the 2, hottest guys who are the best athletes. And that I'm going to make them take me to the end. And I interrupt her. I go, absolutely not. You're not doing that. So I interrupted her. And I said, as a parent, I refuse that you do that because you're on national TV. It's going to be live. Like, you're not doing that. And she didn't know what to do. Like, so now they're all getting like nervous. So I got the other 4 people. I just basically started like picking away at their game right there at the table. And they sat there and didn't say boo back. And I think that right there, just my interaction back and forth with them kind of, got the producer to kind of like, this guy can talk. The best part is as they started walking away, they sent us all away and the 5 of us walked away. And as I turned back and I clapped at the producer and I pointed at her and I said, hey, lucky number 13, best decision you'll ever make. And she kind of looked at me like, you're an idiot. And I turned around and I was like, oh my God, that hurt. So I didn't think anything of it. And that was on a Friday. Monday morning, I got a call from California. I looked at my phone. I was like, California? I go, there's no way. I'm like, so I answered the phone and I just was like, hey, you must be calling from Big Brother. And they were like, what? I was like, hey, yeah, this is Kenny. You calling me from Big Brother, right? He was like, how do you know this? And I was like, I'm a detective. Like, it's a California number. No one ever calls me from California. I just was doing an open casting call the other day. So I think the combination of those things were really good. And that year I made it. I was a semifinalist, but they came back with Steve, the retired NYPD police officer, was on the year of that previous year. And they said, where were you last year? We would have loved to have had you last year. And I said, I wasn't here. So they said, we can't put a cop on 2 years in a row. And they said, hey, keep applying. Will you keep applying? I'm like, yeah. So I kind of got into the casting people. They kept calling me for other shows. And I kept saying no. I'm like, no, it's not about being on TV for me. I just want to play Big Brother. Like, that's the show that I want to be on. And it happened, for like 3 or 4 years. I made it to the finals, I really thought I was on 25, which I think would have been great for me because there was a lot of older people in the house. It would have been better for me. And they called me like at the last minute and said, yep, you're not on season 25. And at that point I was like frustrated. I'm like, yeah, I'm all set. Like, I'm good. I'm not doing anymore. I boycotted season 25. It wouldn't let my wife watch it. And coming up to the next season, they called me for another show, one of the producers, and for another network. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I made it to be an alternate for that show. And when they called me to be the alternate, I said no. I said, I appreciate it, but I got a wife, I got kids. Like, I'm not going away for 3 weeks just because. Like, and the person was like, okay, I'm calling you next week because it kind of sounds like Big Brother wants you this year. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sure. So I honestly thought, even up until the time I was being sequestered, I didn't think I was going to be on the show. I thought they were going to knock on the door. Every time someone knocked on the door when I didn't know they were coming, I really thought they were going to be like, hey, we appreciate it, but you're not on the show. But I ended up being on the show, and I really wasn't prepared because I always was waiting for them to say that, no, you're not on the show, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so looking back, is there anything you wish you would have done differently? Would you wish you would have prepared better, or?
Yeah, I didn't prepare to leave. I mean, I legitimately packed the day that they came to get me. I mean, I had stuff laid out, but I didn't really pack my suitcase and stuff like that. And I didn't prepare mentally because in the back of my mind, I always thought they were going to say, yeah, no, we're all set. Like, we're not going to use you this year. So I really should have prepared mentally to be away from the house. My kids did not want me to go. My daughter, my 7-year-old at the time, was really mad when we did the filming and I drove away. She was really mad. And then I had to come back and tell her, like, no, like, I'm right here. Don't worry about it. So she wasn't too happy that I was going because she knew. She was sitting with me watching like all the shows. I was trying to catch up on everything I missed, especially from season 25. And my daughter would sit there and she's like, "You're gonna be in that house?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in that house." Well, where is it? Like, she's asking all these questions. So she knew that I was gonna be away for a long time.
Yeah, so did you keep watching the rest of the season after you were evicted? What was that experience like if you're watching these people on TV that you were just in the house with?
Yeah, it was weird. It was really, really weird that I was like home. I did watch it, and to be able to like look at the TV, and be like, wow, I was just in that house, and then like I'm like, oh wait, they're laying on my bed. Like, that's the bed I was laying on. Why are they laying on my bed? There's all these other beds. So things like that. It was very weird to watch it, but I had a hard time with the live feeds. Once I started watching the live feeds and like seeing what everybody was doing on the sides and doing all the talking and stuff like that, I'm like, damn, I really missed the boat. I really screwed up big time, So watching the live feeds gave me a lot of regret on how like I played that last week that I was in the house.
Would you get excited if you're watching the live feeds and they're like talking about you?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember them talking about the comics, and they were like, "Oh, I wonder how Kenney feels about being a hot dog." And I'm like, I'm talking to the TV. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, that's fine. Like, whatever. If they can call me a wiener all they want. Like, I don't care. It's all good. So yeah, it was pretty tough, but it was funny coming home to my wife because my wife was like, I planned on just watching the live feeds to see my husband and see what he was doing, and then she was like, then I had to watch the live feeds all night because I wanted to know what everybody was talking about my husband. So she got engrossed in it with, I think she had to have an intervention with her friends to make her go to sleep at some point.
So what was your favorite part of the whole experience?
Meeting the people. I mean, meeting people that I never would have connected with in my entire life. And I'm a people person. I really like people. Like, it doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are. I really like to, learn about people's experiences and just people that I never would have met. Like Quinn, great kid, super eccentric. I'm a kind of a like plain type of person, and he's a great kid. I really like him. Joseph, he's a old school movie buff, like great sense of humor. I never would have had the opportunity to hang out with them. Even Matt and Cedric, like they're like my kids. I never would have been able to meet them and have a relationship with them because you don't understand unless you were in that house how close you become with people in a short amount of time. And I was that one, like yelling at the TV going, you've only met this guy for 1 week. What do you care about him? And then you get in there and you realize like, wow, you can build a bond in, 7 days, being with someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, eating with them every day, hanging out with them by the pool, playing games and things like that. So that was my best experience. If I ever was to go in again, it'd be a little different. I kind of would, realize that I've already met all these people, not necessarily the actual individual, but that particular type of person.
So if you couldn't be the winner of your season, who would you have wanted to have won the season?
I would have wanted Cedric to win. You know, Cedric is like one of the nicest kids that I met. Like, actually, they were all nice. They were all good kids, but Cedric reminded me of my son from day one in the house. He's very low key, super kind, super passionate, just an overall good person. I would have, especially even now, getting to know him more now, being out of the house. I think it would be great to have seen him win it. But also, Chelsea was a sweetheart, you know, so I'm kind of happy Chelsea did win.
But it was Cedric's HOH that you went out on, right? So you don't feel any type of way about that?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't his fault. I mean, I told him to put me up. Like, he knew it. Like, he kept coming back. He kept coming up to me, Pops, are you sure? Are you sure? I really don't want to put you up, Pops. Are you sure? So me and Cedric had a final two on, like, day 2. He came up to me and asked me, which I know he had other final twos, but that was kind of big for me, for him to do it. And he kept trying to get me out. I felt terrible for Cedric because I put him in a bad situation where Cedric was really trying to, like, bring me in and make me feel comfortable, but he also was coming back and be like, "Hey, Pops, they're kind of nervous about you. They don't know where you are in the game, but they also know that you're like trying to crush these competitions and win every comp. So like, there's a good chance if I put you up, like they're gonna vote you out. Like even if you don't want to get voted out, like they're gonna vote you out." And I'm like, no, put me up. I'll take myself off the block in the veto, and that way my mind will get right again. Like instead of sitting around the house not doing anything for the next 5 days, at least give me the veto to play. And that was my mindset at that particular time.
Yeah, so going back to Chelsea, when you were evicted, would you have predicted at that time that she was going to be the winner? And if not, who did you think was going to win at that point that you left?
I kind of thought Quinn was going to do it, especially when I figured out like Quinn had really worked the entire cast, even to the point where he had me hook, line, and sinker 2 days after the whole veto scandal, or 2 days before the whole veto scandal. He got me hook, line, and sinker on the pool. I was like, and I said, you know what? It's me and Quinn out here. Let me take a shot, see what he says. It was like my only game time, my only real like game move that I made. Again, it was against the person who had played the entire house, so I wasn't really that good at it. But I went up. He was in the pool, and I'm like, "Hey, Quinn, why do you think no one wants to work with me? Like, and do something with like maybe like me and Tucker or something? It just seems like everyone's staying distant." And he was like, "Oh my God, I wanted you to say this. Like, you need to go back and talk to Tucker. Let's do something. Me, you, Tucker, and Cedric." And I'm like, "Oh wow, this is great." And here I am thinking I like made this great game move, and then I start talking to Tucker, and that actually is what set Tucker off during that week. If I didn't go to Tucker, that it might not have happened, because when I went to Tucker and told him about Quinn, he was like, "Wait, Quinn said what? That he wants you to talk to me? Like that doesn't make any sense because I'm already in an alliance with Quinn, and I know Quinn's already in an alliance with Rubina, Chemo, and T-Core." And he was like, he just went on a spiel like, "Oh my God, he's in alliance with everybody. Like, let's get him out." And it actually was very smart of him to try and do that. And that's probably the biggest, well, not really the biggest mistake because the winner was Chelsea, but them voting me out and not Quinn was probably a huge mistake in the game. They should have just said, "You know what, Kenny, we don't care that you miss your family. Like, we're voting Quinn out because, he's played each and every one of us. And we all knew he had the power," which was kind of crazy too. But it all happened for a reason, and you just don't know. It's so easy watching it on TV and knowing what's going on in the house. You don't know. I didn't know hardly anything that was going on in the house. I was shocked at the whole Pentagon because I really didn't think they were all together. But I did know that like Mackenzie and Leah were kind of on the outs, and like that was my only saving grace if I had Mackenzie and Leah with Tucker.
Yeah, so has your perception of the game changed now that you're a viewer again rather than a player?
Oh yeah, completely. I never realized how emotional the game is. Even though you watch it, and every season is the montage of everybody crying in the diary room, like over and over and over again. And I never realized it was that emotional. I thought that they were just like, oh, they're just emotional people. Like, I get it. I'm really not an emotional person. All my friends now just really rag on me big time when they talk about, like, "Oh, you cried on national TV." I'm like, yeah, I cried on national TV. What am I going to do? Because no one would have ever expected that is close with me.
So who have you kept in touch with from your cast?
I mean, I probably keep in touch with just about everybody, but not like on the phone, like just through social media. They make a post, I comment on it, they comment back. That's the way that it has to be for me, being the older person with little kids, and I'm kind of busy. But Matt and Cedric, we spent a weekend together for the premiere, which was pretty cool. And I'll send text messages every once in a while. Like I'll send text messages to Joseph and Quinn, and the girls and stuff. Like they were all sweethearts to me. Happy birthdays, things like that. But we're not sitting on the phone at 2:00 in the morning, having conversations like some of them probably are. But
what about people from other seasons? Have you connected with anybody from other seasons?
Yeah, I mean, being part of the Big Brother family is unbelievable. Like the amount of support that I got coming out of the house was overwhelming, with people being like, yep, I was feeling the same exact way you were. Like Sam Smith, for instance, was like, I was missing my kids so bad. Like I was having the worst time in the diary room. Like he goes, I know what you were going through, but he was able to work through it, which was great, for him. And he lasted a little bit longer. Obviously, Kevin, he's a Boston guy. Like we've really connected. We become super friendly. It's great. They do an event down in Florida in December, Over the Edge, which was amazing. We were able to, connect and have, good friendships with other people. So yeah, it's amazing. And it's going to be one of those things where even though you don't talk to somebody on a regular basis, when we all meet up somewhere, it's going to be like, hey, how you doing? And they really embrace my wife. They really embraced Renee and, made her part of the family, which she loves. So she texts and calls people all the time and has conversations on like Instagram and things like that with people from other seasons, which is pretty funny. So I'm hoping she gets on. I'm trying to get her to audition. I'd like to see her go in and avenge me in the Big Brother house.
So other than yourself, who from your cast would you most want to see play Big Brother again or go on another show?
Well, Cedric's obviously on the challenge, so I'm super happy for him. I hope he can make a run at at that. And
are you watching that?
I did. I watched the first one. Life is so busy for me with my kids. They're involved in every sport under the sun, so I have to rely on you. I have to rely on you to give me the spoilers and let me know what's going on, because it's easier to just obviously go through Instagram. But yes, I did watch the first one, and I think we're going to be really surprised at how Cedric, performs on this, because I did follow some spoilers when it was being done. Obviously, The Amazing Race, I think, is coming out. I think they released a couple of people from my show are on that, so I'm super happy with that. I'd love to see Quinn on another show. Quinn, again, is super eccentric. Is he a wealth of knowledge? You put him on any reality show, he knows everything about it. So I'd like to see Quinn. I'd like to see Joseph. Joseph was super fun in the house, even though he felt as though I didn't like him at all in the house. But we laugh about that now. So yeah, I would love to see them. Mackenzie, I'd like to see Mackenzie get another run at something. She was a great kid. She was a great competitor. Yeah, it would be great. It'd be great to see them.
What about Matt? Does Matt want another shot at the show?
You know what? I would love to see Matt go for it again. He's got a lot of publicity, so a lot of people are going to know his story. So, like, again, being in the Big Brother house, he would have to go in there with other alum. I don't think he would be able to go in there with a new cast. I think he would be targeted right away because he is super charismatic. He can hold a conversation with anybody, super athletic. He obviously didn't get a chance to shine in the Big Brother house, which I'm sad about because he is a huge personality and a really good person. So I would have loved to see him shine, but he's doing a real good job on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So I'm happy for that. But I would love to see him get on something. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so you said you'd be down to play Big Brother again. Is there any other shows you'd be interested in, or you just would do Big Brother again?
I mean, obviously everybody's jumping on the Traders thing, so I would love to do Traders. That'd be pretty cool. And I think I would do very well in Traders because it's an everyday thing, as opposed there's no downtime. And any of the shows that there's no downtime, which there's not, I don't think there's another show like Big Brother that does that. Even Survivor, they're like every single day, like they're doing something. I don't think I would do Survivor though. I'm not very good. I like my amenities. So I like my pool and my air conditioning and things like that. So That'd be pretty cool. But I mean, I would definitely now. I'm getting close to retirement. I only got about one more year left before I stop my police job and go on to maybe doing something else. But I would definitely be willing to do other shows because I love the production part of it, and I love the part of like meeting other people. So.
Do you get recognized in Boston from the show a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew I would in Boston, but I'm shocked at how much I'm recognized outside of Boston. I've gone to, obviously Florida, been recognized. I was on a Disney cruise not too long ago, and a lot of people came up to me, and I was like, "Where you from? Are you from Boston?" They're like, "Oh no, I'm from New Jersey, or I'm from, Oklahoma," and I'm like, "Wow, that's kind of crazy." So I'm more shocked at the people that recognize me that aren't from around here, and I guess I did at least. The one good thing that I can say about the show is that I let people know that I'm a good person. Like, I'm not a bad guy. Like, I couldn't go in there and lie like I thought I could. I couldn't go in there and backstab people like I thought I could. I always look back and said to myself, my kids are going to watch this, and my family's watching this. I don't want to embarrass them or make them think that I did anything wrong. So that was part of the reason I wasn't a good Big Brother player, is I just really thought going into the house I could do it. And then as I'm in the house with all that downtime, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I wonder what America's thinking of me right now. I wonder what America's like was saying. And when I got home and realized like America actually loved me and was rooting for me, and I pissed a lot of people off because I was having such a hard time in there, that makes you have a lot of regret. It makes you be like, I wish I could have did it. Even though I don't know these people, every time I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, I was rooting for you," I go, "I apologize. I'm so sorry. I did try my best." They're like, No, we get it. We have kids. Like, we would have never been able to do this. So the majority of people are like that. And I just tell them that I'm sorry that I wasn't able to really pull it together.
Have you ever connected with Derek from season 16? Is he in your area?
Yeah, Derek's in Rhode Island. We've texted. We've never met personally, but we've texted back and forth. And when I did the premiere, he sent a little donation down of his criminal coffee to raffle off and give to one of the fans, and that was great. And I'll do some stuff. I like his coffee, and I'll do some Instagram posts and stuff like that. I got his sweatshirt and things like that. He'll comment back and forth. But yeah, we've never met in person, but we've had conversations that we are going to meet at some point. He is probably one of the greatest players to ever play the game. So, and I told him that I was sorry that I disappointed him as another law enforcement guy.
So do you have any advice for future house guests based on your own experience?
Yeah, prepare yourself. Even if you don't think you're being in that house, prepare yourself, like mentally. Like, put your phone away, drop the computer even for a weekend. Do it weekends at a time. Like, just disconnect as much as you can. And it might be tough for your family, especially if you're older and you have kids and a wife and things like that. But you really emotionally prepare yourself. You can go in physically fit. I went in fairly good shape. I was fighting an injury on my elbow months going into the house, but I went in fairly good shape. So, but being in good shape shouldn't be a priority. Mentally, like, talk to people. Really, like, talk to your family about, like, listen, I'm going away. This is what I'm gonna do. Like, I need you guys to be here for me. I had a 2-hour ride home from New Hampshire to Massachusetts the day that I was leaving. We left our summer camp. And we drove. Me and my wife maybe spoke 3 words to each other in 2 hours because she was nervous and I was nervous. And that was the worst possible thing that I could have did. We should have really hashed everything out on that whole ride, and we shouldn't have shut up until we got home. So talk to your family. That would be my advice.
And do you have any upcoming events or projects that you'd be excited to share with your fans? Any more watch parties, anything like that?
I got nothing planned right now. I think Joseph is actually doing one in the Boston area. I forget when it is. It's in August. It's this month. It's one of the nights. I think it's a Thursday night. I apologize, Joseph, that I don't have that written down. But Joseph's coming and Tucker's coming to the Boston area to do a watch party. So look at our Instagrams and you'll be able to see when it is. But it's going to be in the Boston area. And if Tucker's there and Joseph's there and I'm there, it's going to be a good time.
All right, Kenny, this was so much fun. It was a pleasure to catch up with you and get your insights on the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm looking forward to see what you do next. Keep it up.
Thank you.